Welcome to Collections of Cinema.
Passt. Welcome back to a new episode of
You're just trying to remember what it's called.
Collections of Cinema, Season 2, Episode 2, baby. Sorry.
We're a little sleep deprived today.
It's late and it's
late. It's 7 p.m.
True. It's not that late. Yeah.
When you have a toddler, 7 p.m. feels kind of late. Let's be real.
It doesn't. We're tired.
We're tired.
We're 2 episodes into the new season. And the first season was with Frank. So if you have not listened to the episode. The first episode.
It's late. It's okay.
Of season 2 is with Frank from Reels of Cinema. It was a very cool episode. If you have not listened to it, check it out. And yeah, otherwise we are back with the regular program with just us.
Yep.
And today's episode is about Room.
This really happy pick-me-up movie.
Very uplifting.
Very
positive.
uplifting.
Raum auf Deutsch. Raum. Room is a survival psychological drama based on Wikipedia here, and directed by Lenny Abrahamson, and the screenplay is by Emma Donoghue, based on her novel from 2010, and the novel is based on an Austrian story.
Cool.
Where this guy, I don't want to say his name because he was a fucking monster, kept his daughter in the basement for I think 30 years or something.
His daughter.
And had 6 children with her, 7 children.
Woof.
Yep.
Yikes.
That's just the part that is based on the movie, but he also killed a couple of people and he raped a couple of women, and yeah, it's a
cool.
he is a pretty crazy asshole.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive, but he's super old now and he has, I think, dementia or something.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of sad that he has dementia because then he doesn't remember
all
the
movie
consequences of his actions. But
yeah, the movie came out in 2015. Jacob Tremblay's breakout role.
And how, I mean, I know it's a really sad story, but how fucking cute is that kid in this
so
movie?
Good in it. It's crazy. Brie Larson, Joanne Allen, Tom McCamus, William H. Macy. It's a great cast.
Great cast, yeah.
It was...
but mostly follows Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay most of the time.
The movie itself is set, I think it's set in the US, I'm pretty sure, but it was filmed in Canada, in Toronto, which I feel like you can see.
Then maybe it is set in Canada. If it's filmed in Canada, it might be set in Canada.
I think they never say it, so I think just North America, whatever that means, I think, yeah, but I think they never say which town they are in.
Okay.
Budget of 13 million, and it made 36.3 million, and it got nominated for a couple of Oscars. Let me just quickly look here. 5. No. Brie Larson was singled out for a lot of them, and 4 Academy nominations, right? But he didn't receive any. And also Jacob Tremblay's performance was well received and had a lot of...
Did he not get any Oscar buzz?
No.
That's crazy. I mean, I know he's super young, but still that makes it even more impressive.
That role basically made him a star.
Yeah.
After that role, he had... to this day, we just watched Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
He is just briefly in it, but he is a massive star because of that movie. Let's go into the plot of the movie.
Well, before we go into the plot.
Do you really want to do that?
Yeah, I am telling this story.
Okay.
I won't go into crazy detail because I have calmed down. I'm not as angry anymore. For those of you who don't follow us on Instagram, first of all, what are you doing?
Right. Do it.
Hit that follow button.
Hit it.
But so I'm pregnant. We're having our second child.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler.
Which maybe we already said this in the first episode, but so I'm very hormonal right now, And it's hard to watch like even when things are not that sad, like it could be something joyous and I cry. So
I cried so hard yesterday.
when he suggested that we watch Room, I instantly was like, isn't that a super sad movie? I was like, I don't know if I'm up for like being super depressed. And he was like, yeah, but just the beginning.
Yeah, right.
Like just the first part is what he said.
Once they're out.
It's the whole movie. They're basically in there the entire movie.
No,
and then it gets more sad when they get out.
They're out of the movie halfway through.
But it gets more sad when they get out.
I don't think it gets more sad. It's just different kind of sad.
Oh my Lord. And so he didn't really give me a choice. He was just like, because he started with Schindler's List as the first one. And I was like,
to my defense, though, I have not seen that movie in a long time.
I had never seen it, and even I knew it was depressing as fuck.
And the fact that you have like having a kid watching the movie kind of makes certain parts hit harder.
It made a lot of it hit really hard.
That's just my defense.
But yeah, anyways, so we watched it, and then I was sobbing, like legitimately sobbing, like the kind of sobbing where you can't speak because you're sobbing. And at one point he turned to me, he's like, are you crying? Like, it's crazy that I'm crying. And I answered him with like this broken sobbing voice, and then he starts laughing at me. So it was a whole vibe watching this movie.
I kind of was laughing with you though, I have to say, but
I wasn't laughing. But he did then later admit that he cried a lot.
I cried a lot too. Yeah. I mean, I always cried that movie. It's a sad movie.
I always cried that movie, but I couldn't remember that it was depressing the entire movie.
I had it more in mind that after they get out, like I remembered the beginning very well, and then when he escaped. Let's go into the plot.
So it starts out, you just you see this woman with her kid. You don't really know what's happening, but you just know they're in this room together. They both look like they kind of are a little disheveled, like they haven't really showered. He has super long hair, and they look like they have like old clothes. So you're kind of like, okay, something's going on. You find out then that they're being held hostage, and she has not expressed this to him. He turns 5 right at the beginning of the movie, and she hasn't told him anything about that. She's just trying to like shield him from the horror of what they're experiencing. But she's been in there since she was 17 is what we find out.
And also she basically told him before that outside of the room is just space. Yeah,
that there's nothing really there. So it's the universe basically. And so like all the things they see on TV are, because they have a TV in their room, and all these things they see on TV are like not real to him. It's just, that's TV. And so he doesn't understand that other people really exist. And so when she finally tries to tell him about it, because she just so desperately wants to get out, when she finally tells him like everything that happened, like she was taken and, she had parents and she had a house, and he kind of doesn't believe her. He has a really hard time grasping the idea that there's a real world out there.
Let me quickly intersect here.
Yes,
the whole movie is out of his perspective.
Yes.
So while obviously we see how she's affected by it and things like that, but it's always out of his perspective. So we always see through his eyes, the lens.
I mean, there are moments where you get her perspective, but he's always not in the room when that's the case. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So when he's in the room, it's him, or when he's like with her, it's always
we never see anything where he's not. He's always there. He's always present.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And also how it's told, it's through his eyes.
So it's like through the lens of a child. Like, it's, of course he doesn't understand this, and you're frustrated with him and you're frustrated with her because she so desperately wants him to understand, and he doesn't understand, and it takes a while for him to get it. And
but obviously through like things that are suggested, we understand that she gets raped constantly, that he's a product of rape.
Yeah.
And eventually,
and this guy that has them Nick, there, and she knows that it's a garden shed. That's the only thing that she is able to tell him. That she knows that he took her to a garden shed, but there's like a code to get out. She doesn't know how to get. There's no way for her. And so even if, because the kid suggested at some point, like, okay, when he comes in, what if we just kill him? And then she tells him, but we don't have the code to get out, so it doesn't help us. Yeah.
So at some point she figures out, what if I make him seem sick, my son, and then he has to drive him to the ER.
Like
or
have
hospital.
a note stuck in his pocket for the doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work out because Nick is like, okay, I'm just bringing him some meds. But he leaves, and then she's like, okay, what if we put you in the carpet and we pretend to play that you're dead, and he will then drive you away to bury you somewhere. Obviously, she doesn't say that, but drive you away somewhere else. And once she stops with the car, you jump out and run to the next person. And that's exactly what's happening afterwards.
And that scene is so like, first of all, I imagine like from her perspective, how fucking terrifying that must be, because
and that's what I mean. That's powerful because you don't see her perspective. You can just imagine how it feels. And then
you see only the glimpse when he leaves with the kid wrapped up in the carpet. When the door closes, you see a glimpse of her like panic, you know, but otherwise you have no idea. And it's just like, imagine. For me, I was thinking about like, if I was in that situation, if I was his mom, you have no idea what you're sending him into. Like, it could be if something goes wrong, and obviously this man is dangerous. So if something goes wrong, you're risking him potentially murdering your child.
Yeah, but in the other side, what is the upside? What would be the other side of the whole thing? So
Not sure.
It's like captivity for how long? At some point, he gets too old. What is he doing with him?
Yeah.
You know, there are so many things, and so I think there is only one way, and she took that way. And he gets free, and thankfully there's a pedestrian, and he helps him, and they call the police right away. And through his description of things and the car they were looking for, they are able to find the house, and they are able to find the shed and basically free her as well.
And that leads to the second half of the movie, which is just like the aftermath of the trauma, where it's like she doesn't want him to stay in the hospital for like extra care because she thinks that he'll be okay. But then she's really the one who needs it more than he does. So it's like this. They're living with her parents who thought she was dead, most likely.
I mean, her mom actually, because they're divorced.
Yeah, but her mom and mom's boyfriend. And you know, they're just trying to like figure out how to deal with the aftermath of this trauma and how to like move forward. And just within all of that, there are so many moments where it's just heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking to see. And it's still always from his perspective, because
that's what I had more in mind when I remembered the movie, that it's more uplifting because the journey that he faces, kind of, because his journey is very powerful, because he opens up super quickly, and he you know, he's never seen the world, so he finds friends, he toys a dog, all that stuff that are just magical things that happened in TV.
You know, but for me, it was like seeing he played it so well. It was insane how well he played that. But it's like, you just imagine this kid has never experienced, everything is new. Everything. He thought that the only thing that existed was this one room. That's what he thought existed. And everything is new and scary and terrifying, and you can see it. Like, you see how terrified he is of just like, there's another person here. Or there are toys here that are for me, or, you know, just stairs. Walking up and down stairs, he has to learn. And there's the wind, you know, there are so many just little things that we wouldn't think twice about, but someone who's been through something that he's been through, it's horrifying.
It's well written, well directed, and just well acted, because there's so small little nuances. And then also his interactions with his mom, and you can clearly see that his mom Brie Larson is doing worse and worse, because she can't just overcome this trauma that fast. Obviously, who would be able to? And so she tries to kill herself.
She was there for 7 years.
Which I don't think it's necessarily like I really want to die, but it's like a really massive
I don't want to feel this anymore.
Right. It's a massive cry for help, and thankfully they find her and she gets help. While her son is doing better and better, Jack, and at the end they reunite again, and they start this life from there. I
mean, the ending is what I thought was super powerful, when you know, because he's still, again, such a perfect way to show this from the perspective of a child, because for her, that place. She doesn't want to go back there. She doesn't want to see it again. She doesn't want to think about it again. Never. For him, they call it room. He loves it. And because that's all he knows.
That's all he knew.
And for him, there was never, I feel like there were not many times where he was scared being there. There were a handful of times towards the end there with Nick. Was that his name?
Old Nick.
Or what they called him, at least, Old Nick.
Yeah.
But otherwise he was just like that was his place, that was his home. And so he talked about it a lot. Like we did this in room and I did this in room and I would like to go back to room. And that was the most powerful moment for me when they went back.
That's
because you see how small it was.
It's a psychological thing too. I remember when I had my accident, my therapist told me to go back there again and just look at it and don't like have this in your head. It becomes this very unrealistic monster almost. And also walking out of it on your own terms, leaving at your own terms and on your own feet for stuff like that is very powerful and can heal. Yeah. It typically doesn't have a negative effect, but it can help you heal.
The way it was filmed in the beginning, it was clearly a bigger space when it was filmed, like the first half. Yeah. And, like he slept whenever Old Nick would come over, he spent the night there. And so he slept in what looked like a closet.
It is a closet,
but it wasn't. It was a wardrobe.
No, it was a wardrobe. Yeah.
In the first half of the movie, you see it as a closet.
No.
Yes, you never see it as a wardrobe.
It is a wardrobe, but the way they filmed it made it seem like
made it seem like it's a closet. So like on the wall that opens the whole thing.
They filmed it in a very specific. It's the same room. It's the same size.
But the way they filmed it made it feel bigger than it was. And then when they go visit at the end, it's like this teeny tiny little space.
And he says like, has room shrunk? And she's like, no, it's always been that small. And she's like, and he's like, maybe because the door is open. And she's like, do you want me to close the door? And you're all like, you can see her getting very uncomfortable. And he's like, no, let's just leave. And then they leave. Yeah, it's a very powerful ending.
Yeah.
The only weird thing about that ending is a small little thing. They walk through his house.
That was weird to me too. I was like, why?
Like, why?
Walk through the garden, because they leave through the garden.
They leave through the garden, and it's technically still a crime scene. I mean, obviously,
but they're there with the officers. So.
A year passed or something, but still, you wouldn't walk through the house. Like, I don't want to go in there.
I don't think a year passed. It was cold when they started. It was cold when they finished. I think it was a span of a couple of months.
Yeah, a month. Okay. Yeah, maybe half a year or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. They walked them through the house.
The only thing.
And they had never been in the house, so it just felt a little odd, because then they left through the garden. So it's like, why didn't they just come in through the garden? It was a little weird. Yeah. But
yeah. Emma Watson, Rooney Mara, Shailene Woodley, and Mia Wasikowska were considered for the role of Joy. And Brie Larson was cast after an associate of Abrahamson suggested he saw her performance in Short-Term 12. Larson consulted with a drama expert and nutritionist for the role and went on a restrictive diet and avoided sunlight. She said she saw Room less as a crime story and more of a story of love and freedom and perseverance and what it feels like to grow up and become your own person. Yeah.
She isolated herself in her home for a month.
Yep.
Without access to a phone or the internet. That's crazy.
And it's Jacob Tremblay's first role, which is crazy to think like, the thing is, it's not a happy movie. It's not a light movie, obviously, because of the subject matter alone. But I still stand to the point. It's a positive ending. It's a positive overall. It's not like it doesn't make you feel super depressed afterwards, because that the empowerment is there, and seeing the kid. I don't
know. I felt real sad after it. Like it took me a real long time to.
No, it is sad. It is sad, but I feel like it's not like you don't feel devastated, because it's still a positive ending. It has a positive spin to it, and in the end, the kid is doing fine. You can see how the kid is doing fine, and also the mom, obviously. The thing is, obviously, you're right at the start where they get better, and they all they go through all the shit first, and that's all we see. So obviously it's devastating at times, and having a kid now, just like, it's just imagining this whole thing. And it happened again here in Austria, not even 2 hours away from here. It's just the most horrific thing.
This is really cute. So when trying to get them to bond, Jacob Tremblay's mother asked him if he had any questions for Brie Larson.
Oh yeah, this is so funny.
He asked her 3 questions: her favorite color, animal, and whether or not she liked Star Wars. It's so cute.
Yeah. Let's do movie of the week.
I was sorry, I was just looking if there was some more trivia.
We can do it later with the reviews.
Okay.
Okay, we watched. What did we watch? What is today? The 17th. Wait, we didn't watch that many movies. We watched Eddington. You Can Count on Me. War of the Worlds. I would say You Can Count on Me, honestly.
Which one? Remind me. It's so I know, but I don't know.
That was with Mark Ruffalo and Laura Linney.
Yeah, I really liked that movie.
That was a great movie. Kenneth Lonergan directed it. It's like this small town movie, basically. Mark Ruffalo comes back, the brother, basically, from Laura Linney, and they are estranged and in a very different life space. She has a son.
I mean, they went through a traumatic experience together as children where they lost their parents.
Right. And he has drug problems and also just like getting a foot on life and just having steady income and stuff like that. And so he comes back because he needs money and also needs to have a space somewhere. And Laura Linney also has problems with dating and having like a role model for her son. And her son is also at an age where he asks
He's 8,
questions about his dad and all that stuff. It's a very intricate little view into this microcosm family, small town life kind of. Matthew Broderick has a cool role in it. It's a great cast, and it's a very...
And I mean, come on, Laura Linney.
I mean,
she's brilliant in everything.
Right, them acting off each other. It's just...
And they really felt like siblings. It really worked
like the last
that they were siblings. Yeah.
Sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Talking about, and then he left with the bus. It's a very cool movie. I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so
me
if
too.
you have not seen You Can Count on Me from 2000, directed by Kenneth Lonergan, for sure check it out. Okay, let's go to the Letterbox Reviews. If you have any trivia, you can do that now. Otherwise,
no, it's fine. You can start with...
I mean, this one is... My mom saw me smiling at my phone, so she asked me if I was talking to some boy, but really I was on the IMDb page for this movie reading about how Jacob Tremblay could not bring himself to scream at Brie Larson, and how one of the first questions he asked her was if she liked Star Wars.
That was a trivia thing that was super cute. They had to Jacob Tremblay had a really hard time. There's a scene where he has to yell at her, because he wanted birthday candles on his birthday cake, and because that's how he saw it on TV. And she said that they didn't have them, and he was really mad at her for not asking for that for their quote special treat on Sunday, because she got him like jeans or something instead. And he had a really hard time because he couldn't yell at her. He said he just couldn't do it. And so the whole crew around him started like jumping up and down and yelling and screaming like during like practicing to help him like get that energy, like match their energy to be able to do it. And so...
I cried so much that I'm now dying from dehydration.
That was me. My letterbox is not loading, so you're just going to have to take over with those.
My anxiety hated this, but I fucking loved it. Jacob Tremblay is literally more talented than 99% of men in Hollywood, and the 1%, at the 0.1% is Jake Gyllenhaal. Can my strong be her strong too? That scene was fantastic.
Yeah, that was another... sobbing moment.
I love experiencing nonstop soul-crushing emotion for 2 straight hours.
Yep. Accurate.
I don't even know how it's possible for an 8-year-old kid to be this good at acting.
So nuts.
Yeah.
Was he 8?
He was 8 at the filming, yeah. which is crazy alone. I mean, obviously he didn't understand all the gists and stuff from the story, you know, obviously how would he, but I feel that alone makes it so believable because he plays it so well from his perspective. And I feel like that's why the movie works, because I feel like if you would show it from a different perspective, I feel like I don't know if the movie would work so well, because you would then also need to show him in a more understanding side to kind of work in that environment. So it's just the perfect way to do something like that, because otherwise it would just be more horrible. Even like if it would just be her in a voice and her perspective solely, like you would probably also want to kill yourself. Yeah. So and telling that story from his perspective again kind of makes it not uplifting. Uplifting is the wrong word, but the perseverance of life and just also seeing how this small little soul can bounce back from being in this imprisonment. This kind of it has a positive spin at the end for sure. Yeah.
So in several interviews, the author of the book on which the movie is based has said the story is not based on any specific real life case. So it's that from Wikipedia. There are a lot of similarities to other cases from what I see, but
from Wikipedia is Donahue conceived the story after hearing about the 5-year-old Felix in the Fritzl case.
Okay. Yeah, apparently
that's what
the author
Wikipedia says.
In interviews has said that there's no.
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia says. So I don't know. The thing is, I can totally see it because there are a lot of similarities. I fell into a rabbit. The thing is, I knew the story. I knew all the shit when it came out, and it was as horrible back then as it is now still. But I fell into a rabbit hole after watching the movie, and I read more about him, the guy, and it's just insane, like how that man even was able to do what he did for so long without other people not knowing what was going on. And there were people living in the house. He had a wife. That woman had no clue apparently what was going on in the basement.
So crazy.
All that stuff. It's a fucking nuts story. And then,
well, here's something more uplifting.
Yeah.
In Joy's bedroom in the movie, so when she goes back home, there is a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio hanging on her wall.
I remember.
DiCaprio would win his first Academy Award for The Revenant 2015, the same night Brie Larson won for Room 2015.
Oh, that's funny.
That's kind of cool.
That's cool. That's it, everybody. If you want to support us, head over to a Patreon page where Joe is still our only member. Please help us out. We are on Instagram. We have a website where you can vote to choose a movie, or where you can choose a movie for us that we should do. And otherwise, please follow us on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen or watch the podcast, and leave a comment or a like. That's it.
Goodbye.
Good night.